Yes,
Bogdanov, it's happening.
Isolde. Pumpy.
This is not financial advice. This is me giving my opinion. Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 240. It is the fourth day of the week, aka the Big Bang Attack workout. There you go. I am feeling pretty good. I'm very happy right now. I got to get downstairs and get ready to go. I was trying to struggle. I was struggling to figure out what I was going to make this today's subject matter about, but it came to me when I realized I hate the banks and I love Bitcoin. And so we'll talk about Bitcoin in general, just my journey with it in with all of stuff and just how I see it as probably the next step in transactions as well as crypto. I'm not going to go into crypto as a whole because that's a whole other subject. I feel like Bitcoin's the one part of it's part of the whole thing. Obviously it's not the whole thing, but it is like the entry level part to get to the rest of it. I don't think the next episode is going to be about crypto because crypto is a whole other subject because there's so much that happens there. I mean, yeah. So I'm just going to focus on Bitcoin on this one because I've had a long history of doing stuff with Bitcoin. It's been around in my life for weird times because I've had computers and things like that since I remember what was it? I had a 770, I believe, before, or 790 graphics card. This one right here. I remember when that was a part of an old mining rig. So that's how I got it. But that was like secondhand from a friend, and it was a whole exchange of stuff. So it's been around. I've been around it for a little bit. It's not like it's something brand new to me. And there's a story that I'll tell. Shout out Nelson for this story. But I'm very excited to talk about that. But I think for now, I'll just say, if you don't know what Bitcoin is, I'd say get yourself educated. This isn't the place to get yourself educated about it, but go out there and look at it and understand it. And because it is something where it probably will be useful in the future as more things and people adopt it as more people adopt it as we go along in the world. I have a good feeling it's probably becoming slowly but surely a safe investment, at least somewhat. I don't think it's one of those things that are going to disappear overnight. It is not, unless it gets ultra regulated, in which case it defeats the purpose of the entire point of Bitcoin. That's one. And two, we have all the other crypto that you can go to if that happens. So that is something to think about. But for now, I'll say, if you don't know anything about it, go find out about it. Go do research about it. And also, why are you so ignorant to it? That's the main question I have for you if you're watching this and have no idea about Bitcoin or anything like that. Go find out more about it. That's probably one of the last chances for you to actually get out of the poverty rat race that we're all currently in. You're most likely like the way and or shot to actually make money. Crypto mostly, but Bitcoin at least is the get your foot in the door type of deal. It's like investing in gold in like 1950. Well, after Kennedy got shot, basically. Or was it that? No, it was before Kennedy got shot. One of the two. Something happened, you know. But anyways, there's a whole other subject I wanted to talk about, but that'll be for a different day. And also how much I hate banks. That's another day, but that's a whole other story too. But I wanted to focus on Bitcoin because that is something that I have had a lot of dealings with. And I will get into more details and some stories and my journey along with it and my slowly bringing back up of a portfolio when we go down to Mother Base.
All right, so started this day off with the single arm lat pull down, which was pretty good. But anyways, before I go back to the main subject here, I got a couple of things to fix on this. One, it was not a 770. It was a 7970. That was the graphics card I was talking about earlier, which I will get to in a minute. And then secondly, this is not financial advice, for the love of God. I have to say that very explicitly. This is not financial advice. For some reason, the world is so fucked that if you decide to even mention anything financial, you have to mention that it is not financial advice, or else you could be fucking yourself so hard. So that is what I'll start with. But to go back to the main subject matter at hand here, Bitcoin or just Bitcoin stories really and things like that. I wanted to talk about it. So basically the old graphics card that actually I still have to this day that I use for a backup PC, I should say. It's still around. It was a 7970 old graphics card at this point now. 10 plus years old, was the cream of the crop. The only reason I even got it was because I bought it from a friend who ended up buying it from a guy who was using it to mine Bitcoin at the time. Don't know how that went. I ended up buying it from him because he ended up fixing it because apparently it bricked, but then he unbricked it. So that was an interesting thing, but that is a weird crossover of my personal life into somebody mining. Another one is a story thanks to my brother, who apparently was offered a long time ago for some coins, like 10 Bitcoin a long time ago. And he didn't take it because he just didn't know what the hell it was and was like, whatever. And obviously, as you could imagine, kicking himself for not doing it or taking it, just holding on to it. And I think that's the main thing about it, really, is that you hear all these stories of people going like, oh, I should have done it. I should have done it. Just fucking do it. I mean, at this point, sure, it's like unregulated. Well, that's the half of the point of why it's good. But the entire idea of not jumping on or thinking it's going to go and crumble under completely at this point is quite ludicrous. I don't think it at this point where literally countries are adopting it in mass, really. I don't think it's going to be something that will go away at any time. I think now we're still on the ground level of stuff, which is insane to say because we are like 15 plus years into the cycles and everything. It's insane to say that even though it costs an arm and a leg now, but it's still something that will end up having a limited supply. And whenever that happens, that'll be very interesting to see what happens on the other side, because realistically, this is probably the only way that people are ever really going to get rich nowadays, honestly, is going to be this or crypto. I do not have faith in the stock market just because of how it's been going so far. I don't have faith in a lot of our economy, I'll be honest here. And just straight up saving, you're getting fucked via inflation. So it's really tough to figure out where you can invest your money in or just try to something different so that way maybe you can get out of the hellscape that is the rat race and maybe come ahead. I'm not one to tell you exactly what you should do, or I'm not even going to tell you what I'm going to do, because that is something that I plan to keep held close to the chest, really. I would say at least be understanding of it. Understand why people want decentralized finance. Understand what's going on. What is a Bitcoin? How does somebody get it? I think being ignorant to something like this is paramount to not being invested in just your future or a possibility of the future that could be great for you. It's like you're being willfully ignorant to something that could be potentially great for you. And it sucks because a lot of people end up doing stuff like that. They'll ignore it, or they'll listen to the headlines, or they'll see the number go up and be like, it's too late for me now. But I mean, at least do some research so that way you're not reliant on the word of others or the word of some random guy doing workouts in his garage. You know, you got to do your own research on it and at least figure out, okay, should I give this some money? And of course, there's going to be ups and downs, because of course there's always ups and downs. But at least then, you know, hey, I know what I'm getting myself into. And I think people don't want to be bothered with the idea of trying something new. And it's annoying because it's like, if you were to just try to figure out something that could be next level for you, or like at least a little bit out of your league, and then all of a sudden, hey, you invest your money in it. Look at that. It just doubled. Boom. And for some reason, it just baffles the mind, really, that people, or at least look into it, or just take every single thing that they see on the news as face value and decide, oh, this is wrong or this is bad. My favorite one, though, personally, is the it's bad for the environment idea, wherever that was spread on. Most of the time, the people that are saying this are also the same types of people that will defend celebrities at any moment whenever they take plane trips, which will probably be worse for the environment than any other Bitcoin mining farm would actually be. But we don't talk about that, and that's a whole other story for a whole other day too. We'll discuss that on a different one. Also, this is not the episode to talk about other coins, because that'll be a different episode in its entirety. There's a bunch to go there. I don't want to go into that in this one because that's if Bitcoin is the alternative, other cryptocurrencies are basically the wild, wild west. It is crazy over there.
And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercise is not filmed. None exercises skipped. Also none got everything in, thankfully. I am very happy about that. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand. Bitcoin. Just wanted to talk about it because it was something that I recently bought. I bought some more. Unfortunately, I had to sell some of mine because I had to get out of some credit cards that I hopefully will be getting out of soon. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. I will be getting out. It's more of a how soon will I get out of it because I fucking hate them. But I want to hold my hate for that for a different video. I think that's a celebratory video where I get to go off on that. But that's when I get out of it. I'm going to leave that alone, leave that door closed, because once it opens, it's going to be Pandora's box. But anyways, Bitcoin is something that I feel like most people should invest in. I am not just talking about as somebody who's like, oh, let me get an entry level thing and then get out. No, just get it and keep it. What is the worst that will happen? You'll lose money. What is the best that will happen? You'll get unfathomable amounts of money. I don't understand what's the point. I understand where people are like it's an unsafe asset, all these other things. These are the same people that will do a 10-team parlay and bet $150 on them. You're already throwing away money on chance. You might as well do it on a chance that has more of a chance. The fact that there are governments like the El Salvadorian government, the Argentinian government, and even the United States government deciding, hey, maybe we should have some in reserve just in case if it actually, sticks around and blows up. The fact that they're even considering it, well, one is already doing it, but the others are considering it, is a domino effect that's just going to keep going and going and going. So might as well get in on the ground floor. The fact that we're still on the ground floor is actually pretty amazing. I want to say this is not a salesman pitch about something like this. This is more of a investing in the future, and I hope that you're investing in the future because I feel like a lot of people are so dug up in the past. And I know it's funny because I was talking about the past and certain things. When it comes to the mind, there haven't been many changes. When it comes to technology, there have been loads of changes. And you got to get with the times. And I think that's the thing that a lot of these new currencies are doing is changing the flow of things and information. Literally, I was trying to transfer some money to my wife using the bank. And it was annoying because I couldn't do it over the weekend. So I was like, Bitcoin, there's nothing like that. And I know that sounds like super simple and like, oh, that's whatever. But I couldn't give my wife virtual money because it was the weekend. Like, it's such a small thing, but yet I should be able to do this at any moment, but I can't because it's the weekend. Like that, I know that sounds like, it sounds so ridiculous saying it because it's such a small, minute detail. But the fact that you can't do that and you have to go through backwards ass channels in order to get it to them, Zelle or whatever money app that they ask you to hold on to so that way they can track it, because that's really what those apps are, is just front facing things so that way they can get a little bit of cash or know where the cash is going. But for tax purposes, but that's a whole other story. But I find it that even something as simple as that should be easily obtainable at any moment, at any time, really. But that's just even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to these types of things. I think that personally, it's something that you should at least look into and be knowledgeable about. If you aren't knowledgeable about it, at least do your research on it, because you never know. This could be the thing that might help you out in the future. Or, just in general, just so you know about something that's an alternative to whatever we have. I mean, you could invest in gold too if you really wanted to, but it is what it is. I just think that this entire thing is something that you should at least look into. And I'm not sponsored by anybody. I don't think I'll ever want to be sponsored by any weird crypto thing. I don't want to do it like a coin. God, no. That's a whole other discussion, because that has to deal with the idea that scams have been around since the dawn of time. They are the second oldest profession in the book. The first one, that's a whole other episode as well. But the second oldest profession is scamming. So that one's been around. It's just, there are some that are just obviously, come on now. But I don't want to get into that. This, though, I feel like will be around. I think the more time that people let it go and don't realize that, hey, maybe I should get some, is just going to be wasted time that it could have gone even better and higher. Just to put it in perspective, let's say you bought some in 2012 when it was like $111. If you bought one, it would still be worth like $86,000. Like, it's just so mind-boggling that you're like, you could get fucked, obviously. I'm not saying that's not a risk, but everything has a little bit of risk in it. So it is just something that I feel like you should at least look into, and also figure out if you're that type of person, or if not, look into something that is secure, like bonds or something else, because your money just sitting there is not going to do shit. So it is what it is. But with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this one. This one was a more random one, but also something that I am interested in. I would love to hear your just general comments about this in below, as long as it's not spam, although this type of content style, aka video topic, attracts the bots. So I am prepared for that. I'm hopeful to God that they're not there, but they will be. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thanks again for watching. I do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Keep it heavy. Stay safe out there. Stay warm. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.